is Tiffany Lewis, and today I want to tell you about how eating less meat could possibly make your lives better. We eat meat for breakfast. Many of us eat meat for lunch and meat for dinner. Meat is the star at every meal in American society, and vegetables seem to be marginalized as mere side dishes. Even CNN describes meat as greasy, grinding, industrial output. Overconsumption of meat is a major cause of several health epidemics in American society, such as obesity, diabetes, and cancer. There is a simple solution. People should just eat less meat. Today, I would like to begin by telling you about how eating meat slowly lures us into a portly life of obesity. The National Institute of Health reports that U.S. national data shows positive associations between meat consumption and the risk of obesity. Now, simply put, meat causes obesity, but how? An article by Harvard EDU says that high intakes of red meat and processed meats are high in saturated fats. Researchers tracked a high protein diet, and the study showed that people who ate more processed meat over the course of the study actually gained more weight than people who ate healthier proteins such as beans, legumes, and nuts. Now, it's not just eating meat that can cause weight gain, it's the quality and the quantity of meat that can cause your weight gain. Now, some red meat is necessary, but many people feed their addiction to meat like a starving lion devouring the last gazelle in a 500-mile radius. Now, we all know, oh, and to make matters worse, weight gain is closely associated with diabetes. And we all know that eating too much sugar and carbs can lead to diabetes, but so can meat. High fat content in meat coats the lining of our intestines, and that hinders our intestines' ability to absorb nutrients that we are definitely going to need, and it causes a spike in hunger. That might answer your question of why am I so hungry after I just ate a large meal a couple hours ago? Also, clevelandclinic.org says that red and processed meats are high in sodium, and that includes pork. If your blood pressure is increased because of the sodium, then your nitrites are possibly increased and the insulins are become resistant to it. And if the body has too much insulin, then the pancreatic function is compromised. The pancreas is what regulates blood sugar levels and digestive enzymes, and it also regulates some hormone levels. Now, even I have my own personal testimony. I've eaten no pork and no red meat for a period of 6 months. After 3 weeks, my pain was cut in half, and after 3 months, I had lost 20 pounds. So I'm personal to this no eating meat. And although we know that weight gain is and diabetes can be very treacherous, the most terrifying downside to not eating meat for all of us, or for eating too much meat for all of us, is cancer. Now, according to the IRAC, research has shown that processed meats are classified as carcinogens and red meats are a probable carcinogen. And a carcinogen is something that causes cancer, just simply put. And if you're wondering about what a processed means, it means that anything that you have to do to meat to preserve it or anything to make it taste better. So if it's not a raw cut of meat straight from the animal, then it's probably processed. So 22 experts in 10 countries also reviewed more than 800 studies, finding that 50 grams of processed meat every day increases the risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. So that means that if you eat 4 slices of bacon or one hot dog every day, you're increasing your risk of cancer by 18%. And think about how much more we even eat. I know I like to eat more bacon than that. So with red meat, there is evidence of increased risk of not only colorectal cancer, but various other cancers as well. So now that we've identified the problem and its cause, let's talk about how we can pull together to start saving our own lives. A simple solution is not to just eat less meat, but we have to choose better quality of meats. The World Health Organization recommends eating lean, unprocessed red meats and keeping that intake down to less than 2.5 grams per day to prevent the risk of chronic illnesses. Pork is not necessary and could be cut out completely. And eating less meat is one easy solution to begin climbing out of our obesity hole. And if we all know that if we eat less food in general, we will lose weight. We could cut our meat intake in half. We could eat meat only once per day or maybe even only a few times a week. And we could begin eating other healthier proteins, such as the beans and legumes I had discussed earlier to lessen the risk of diabetes. So, since there are many substitutes for red meat and pork, such as fish and beans, we need dark green veggies to provide the iron we need, such as broccoli, spinach, and kale, which are also high in fiber. Cancer is a harsh reality, and we must lessen our risk of cancer. So, the most difficult option would be to stop eating processed meats completely. This means no more canned meats, no more frozen meals with readily prepared meats, no more hot dogs, no more frozen chicken nuggets, no more jerky, no more pot pies, unless they're vegetarian, I suppose. With all of this in mind, we need to stop polluting our bodies. Red meat and pork are riddled with fats, and so many studies have proven over time that pork and beef cause severe health problems such as obesity, diabetes, and cancer. The sources I have shown today are shedding light on what we need to do to stop dragging ourselves down into this self-imposed crisis of health that could possibly cause us an early death. We don't have to stop eating meat completely, but if you want to reduce your risk of diabetes and cancer and other chronic illnesses such as obesity, diabetes, and cancers, we need to exercise some self-control by eating less meat and choosing better qualities of meat to live thinner, healthier, less cancerous lives. Thank you.